How many times a week do you and your team members complain about the stupid steps you have to go through to get your work done? Perhaps you should adopt a subtraction mindset. Want to know how? Watch this short video. I'm Bob Windover. Workplace burnout has become one of the top concerns in today's offices. But then you probably knew that, right? The question, of course, is what to do about it. Now, even if those on your team are not burned out in the technical sense, chances are they feel overwhelmed a good portion of the time. If you search on the web for solutions, you'll find advice like get more sleep and eat a better diet and take time to relax and spend more time with family and friends. Now, if you suggest these ideas to your team, they'll probably say, yeah, right. But just after I get all that stuff done that's loading down my plate. You see, those big picture ideas are good in theory, but they, and probably you, are wondering, well, how do you get out from underneath the daily press of endless tasks? I can't cover all the practical solutions I suggest to clients in this short video, but I can give you one that over time will provide a significant amount of relief. Develop a subtraction mindset. Now, I can't claim credit for this term. It was coined by Stanford professors Robert Sutton and Huggy Rowell for this book, The Friction Project. There's a link to the purchase of the book in the description below, by the way. They argue that many times we overwhelm ourselves by creating or perpetuating processes and practices that are really unnecessary or out of date or maybe created for a one-off situation that no longer exists. When you and your team develop a subtraction mindset, every process and practice becomes a candidate for elimination or simplification. Now, that might seem like one more obstacle getting things done. After all, who's got the time to stop and examine the process when you're trying to get through it? But those who practice a subtraction mindset integrate this philosophy into their daily practices. How many times, for instance, have you thought, why are we really doing this about one process or another? But rather than stopping to maybe jot a note to examine whether it's really relevant anymore, you've just continued doing what you were doing. And then perhaps this same question occurs to somebody else, or maybe a couple other people. But they too move on without jotting a note or considering it later. So it never really gets addressed. Those with a subtraction mindset jot down that reminder to revisit the process at a time when there is maybe less pressure, or perhaps during a designated team meeting or retreat. Now, if you were to take a step back and make a list of all the policies and procedures and practices involved in what you do, chances are you would identify a considerable list of candidates for modification or even elimination. So, how do you develop and implement a subtraction mindset among those on your team? Well, here are a few of the ideas the authors suggest. For a more comprehensive explanation, read Chapter 5 in the book. First, identify the stupid stuff. This is all the low-hanging fruit. These are all the unnecessary steps in forms and processes that everybody complains about. You might begin by maybe asking team members to build a list of candidates for elimination. And after a couple of weeks, compare everybody's lists. Now, the items that appear frequently are probably the first to be eliminated. Or you might create a Google Doc to which everyone can contribute all the candidates that come up for them to eliminate or maybe to combine together. Then periodically meet, review the list, and subtract the irrelevant tasks and processes. A good way to evaluate these candidates, by the way, is to simply ask, what value does this task or process bring to our overall outcomes? Second, figure out the value and cost of meetings. We all complain about the number and value and the time it takes and time it consumes to attend meetings. Have you ever figured out, though, the monetary drag due to these actual gatherings? After all, a 1-hour meeting attended by 8 people consumes a full workday's value, doesn't it? If those who are attending are paid an average of maybe $30 an hour or $240 a day, is the meeting really worth $1,920? Third, build a journey map. Consider what your clients and customers and vendors and coworkers have to go through to work with your team. Do you put them through unnecessary hoops? Do they have to establish, 3 usernames and passwords if they want to access the different systems that you work with? Are you asking them to complete information on a form when they've already provided it elsewhere? You get the idea. So, how about within your own team? How about that quarterly report? What about those annual audits? How about the proposals that management seems to ask for but rarely acts on? How about the steps in each one of those endeavors? As I said, these are just 3 of the many ideas for fostering a subtraction mindset in the Friction Project. My approach to helping teams and individuals overcome feelings of overwhelm has always been about reducing the number of daily decisions we all make. After all, making fewer decisions allows us to conserve the sugar energy our brains need to focus on the more important tasks. Making fewer decisions also enables us to recover our balance and have time for family and friends and activities that stimulate our lives outside of work. Why waste decision energy on the stupid stuff? What do you do to reduce the unnecessary decisions in your life and on your team? Put them in the comments below. We'd all like to know, really. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell so you'll be notified when I publish more energy-saving content just like this. I'm Bob Wendover.